Hi everyone, it's Fitz with the daily delivery. Hope you're doing well. I'm good. I just finished watching Kansas State basketball, but I'm good. K-State loses again, 80-76 at UCF, as they continue to sink further and further away from postseason play, respectability. Depends on how you want to measure this season. And I think Jerome Tang's finally had enough. I'll get into that right after I remind you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 16,000 here pretty soon. And if you'd help us out, please support the channel by doing so. K-State's now lost 4 in a row. They went to Utah, winners of 6 straight, looking like world beaters. And now they can't beat anyone in the world. It's crazy what's happened to Kansas State. Before they went to Utah, we were actually, and not just us, the national media, talking about K-State climbing onto the bubble of the NCAA tournament. A remarkable feat, if you ask me, after the way they'd been playing. Well, they've gone back to playing poorly, and granted, they played the last 2 without Coleman Hawkins, but both of them were very winnable even without Coleman Hawkins. Now 2 games below 500, with 3 games to play in the regular season. They are facing the reality that if they don't get to 500 or better, they're not going to any postseason. And I'll discuss in a minute why they probably don't even want to go to postseason just to go to postseason. There's a good reason why. But Jerome Tang on his postgame radio show had it. This is a coach that always takes the blame. Takes the blame so often it frustrates me. And I like when coaches don't throw their players under the bus. Call them out for some random mistake that might have cost the game. No, don't do that. And Tang is always so good to talk about preparation and having his team ready. And if they lose, he failed. But this was a little bit too much. He said it's time for these guys to take ownership. I'm willing to take the fall here, but you've got to own some of this because these guys don't seem to be locked in on what they need to do. I'm incredibly frustrated with the course of this season, mostly at this point because I'm watching these guys play and they have so far removed themselves from what they were doing when they were winning. It's hard to grasp. It's hard to understand. Tang went on to mention that when the team comes home for the Sunday game against Colorado, he needs the students. There weren't a lot of students there on last Sunday for that home game against Arizona State. Now, granted, the main sections were still crowded, but there was open student seating. The alumni showed up, but the students didn't really roll into the Bramlets like they usually do. And he flat out said, "We are not good enough to win without you." He'd said that to the students on his postgame radio show, and it's hard to blame him because this team hasn't been playing well. Max Jones was pretty good. Doug McDaniel was good at times, but as a totality, they were not good enough to beat a UCF team that now has won 5 Big 12 games. Frustrating. It's frustrating for everyone. And now I think everyone might agree, let's just get this over. And if you're a K-State coach, here's the reality. That transfer portal that opens in the spring opens the Monday after the first week of the NCAA tournament. So you get the weekend where the Big 12 tournament concludes. Sunday is Selection Sunday. You play that week and boom, the portal's open. I think that might be more important to these coaches than playing a game in the NIT or the Vegas event or anywhere else. To start focusing on next year, unless these guys show the heart to make a run. Make a serious run. Not get to 500, but push for postseason play and earn it. And that's what Jerome Tang's calling them out for. It's time to prove you can win again and start playing with some damn dignity.